Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mmusi. My topic today is the effect of tillage systems on soil moisture and maize yield. The presentation outline will be like this: introduction, maize origin, uses of maize, nutrition, production constraints, conservation tillage, problem statement, objectives, materials and methods, description of experimental sites, general agronomic practices, experimental design, data collection, stati- statistical analysis, and conclusion. Maize originated in Central America in Mexico. It is widely grown in Latin America and Africa, where it has become an important cereal crop. In Africa, it is cultivated by both large-scale and smallholder farmers. In sub-Saharan Africa, maize covers over 25 million hectares. Uses of maize. Maize is used for human consumption. It is prepared in different continents in different ways. It is used for animal feed, as a source of biofuel, uh, as oil, and alcohol in industrial uses. Nutritional value. Maize provides starch, proteins, and fat. It is also a source of vitamins. Production constraints. The smallholder farmers have limited production inputs. That makes it difficult for them to produce optimally. The global warming also has made that the climate conditions become very variable. We've seen this in the erratic rainfall and the drought conditions. Limited knowledge on maize production practices also plays a vital role on the smallholder farmers not producing optimally. Conservation tillage is a method of soil cultivation that leaves the previous year's crop residue on the soil. This reduces soil erosion and runoff. The problem statement reads thus: the production of maize in the sub-Saharan Africa region occurs under poor conditions caused by erratic rainfall, low soil moisture, inherent nutrient deficiencies, limited mechanization resources, and production inputs. Many farmers predominantly plow their soils utilizing moldboard plows. This tillage practice can be very expensive and wasteful, resulting in soil degradation and loss of soil organic matter. Maize or sunflower monocropping is also predominant amongst the smallholder farmers, and this results in a decline in soil fertility, buildup of pests and diseases, and low grain yields. However, utilization of conservation tillage practices by farmers is still limited in South African provinces, including the Northwest. A study that is conducted in farm conditions for farmer knowledge improvement on tillage practices will aid in adoption of conservation tillage practice. The objectives. The broad objective is to evaluate the effect of conservation tillage systems on soil moisture and the yield of maize. The specific objectives: to evaluate the effects of different tillage systems on soil moisture, to investigate the yield of maize under different tillage practices. Materials and method. This description of the experimental sites. The trial will be in two locations, Taung Experimental Farm and Kora Farmer Training Center. The average annual rainfall for Taung is about 450 millimeters, and the average annual rainfall for Kora in Mahikeng is about 541 millimeters. General agronomic practices. Maize field trials were planted in the summer of 2019 on 1.5 hectare with inter-row spacing of 100 centimeters and intra-row spacing of 30 centimeters at the two trial locations. The stalk borer resistant and Roundup ready maize cultivars were planted. All other maize agronomic practices were followed. During planting, fertilizer was applied, and also during top dressing. Weeds were controlled using Roundup. Experimental design to be used, that was used is randomized complete block design with 3 treatments. The treatments are conventional tillage, where moldboard plow, disc and planter were used. The second treatment is minimum tillage, where chisel plow and planter were used. The third treatment is no-till, where no-till planter was used. The experiment was replicated 4 times. The plots were 100 by 10 meters with a spacing of 6 meters in between. Data collection. Data to be collected will be rainfall data during the trial period, stand count 6 weeks after emergence, number of days to flowering, stand count at harvest time, crop weight, grain weight, and grain moisture content. Statistical analysis. Data will be subjected to ANOVA using GenStat version 19.1. Mean separation will be conducted using F-test and means comparisons by least significance at 5% probability level. Conclusion. In the 2019-2020 planting season, no formal data was collected due to the establishment of the stable mulch. This is because the trial only started in December last year. So we are still trying to establish and start this conservation tillage. So we wanted the previous crop, especially the residue, to be on the soil. That concludes my presentation for today. Thank you very much.